Today on The Rational Rancher, we're going to be talking about how to be a first generational farmer, or more or less what our story, how we became first generational farmers. And
Our origin story.
yes, like every good Marvel movie has an amazing origin story. So if you're interested in The Rational Rancher's origin story, you are in luck. So how did it start, honey? You tell me the origin to Rational Rancher, or the first generational ranching.
Well, when I met you, that wasn't really something we had talked about. So I didn't
I
know
tricked her.
we were going to be ranchers, but that's okay.
I think for me,
Here for the ride.
we had just gotten married. We were young. We were in college. I was finishing up my senior year, which was my junior year. But anyways, and she had already graduated. She was working at a Christian school as a teacher, and I was doing my capstone project with John and Sean. If you guys are watching this, give me a call. I miss you guys. But anyways, we were all doing this capstone project, and we're like, none of us want to be accountants. What do you really want to do? And we went around and told each other, and mine was, I really want to be a rancher. You know, I grew up watching Bonanza. What? That was the best life. You had Paul and Little John, right? Or Big John.
Never
and
watched
I
Bonanza.
forget the names now. Shoot, I'm on. Sorry, Bonanza. But I wanted to be that dad with his three boys running around, shooting bad guys and driving cattle. That was the dream.
I think one was Adam.
Adam, yeah, Little Joe, and Hoss.
Hoss.
There we are. We got it.
Hoss.
I wanted to be Little Joe. But anyways, so that's like the American dream, is being a rancher. And that's what I wanted to do. But the reality was, my grandpa wasn't a rancher. My dad wasn't a rancher. We had no land. So it was kind of like a fantasy. But throughout our marriage, those early years, we got a job working for the government, the Department of Defense, and we moved around a lot. And our origin for ranching started in central Ohio, in a little town called Lewisburg. We bought 66 acres. Remember that?
Yes.
And tell us about that house. How did you feel about that house?
Well, we went to look at this amazing property that he brought me to, and the house was built in the 1800s, and paneling on the walls, old carpet, not what I looked. I already had a pretty nice house somewhere else, so it was hard to move there, and I was like, I am not moving here. And he's like, but the land, and I'm not living on the land, I'm living in the house with a little 18-month-old child. So yeah,
So I
So we
won.
bought the land.
We bought the land in the old house, and it was a huge blessing in the end.
yes.
Miss Burrows, if you're watching, thank you for selling us that dream farm back in 2008.
It was our beginning.
It was the beginning. It was our origin story. And there we found out what it meant to be farmers, ranchers. We turned this farm into 30 head of cattle and 60 Kiko goats. And I work full-time for the government and also full-time on the farm. And it was
Not fun.
not fun, but it was an amazing time because we were young. We had our three
Energy.
kids. We had our 3 kids on that farm. And the days were waking up at 4 in the morning, doing chores, going to work, coming home, doing chores till dark or whatever, fixing the house up. And
All systems go 7 days a week,
Yep.
no breaks.
no breaks. And after about 3 years of doing that, we knew we loved the ranching. We loved the livestock. We loved that life with our kids running around outside, playing on their little tractors, and bottle feeding baby goats. And that's what we wanted. But we knew we couldn't do it if I was going to stay working full time. And so take the leap of faith was huge, because we had an amazing job. It paid really good, and the benefits were awesome. But it wasn't what we had dreamed of anymore. So the dream was to be first generation ranchers that made a living off the land. And so we took the plunge in 2012, and we partnered with my folks, and we bought 286 acres in central Kentucky, the beautiful bluegrass state.
Beautiful
And
grass.
that farm was better because it was 286 acres of just grass, nothing else. We had an old tobacco barn. And so that meant even more work. And so we started in 2012, and in, what was it, August 26th, 23rd, 2013, we moved into our new house in Bourbon County, Kentucky. And we all learned how to talk like this.
Especially our kids.
Especially our kids. So we started from the ground up on that farm, and we learned so much in Kentucky on what not to do and some of what to do. And after 5 years there, we were officially a first generational farm that made all of our money off the farm. And that was amazing.
But those 5 years becoming full-time, we did a lot of things.
Yeah, I had quit my government job because I couldn't telework doing it. Those 5 years, we tried a lot of different things to make money. What was one of your favorite things we tried, honey?
I would say puppies.
Yep. We found that we had a Bernese Mountain Dog female, and she was our family dog, and she was awesome.
We actually had Bernese Mountain Dogs before we ever had kids. That was our first dog, and loved it. And he actually had him when growing up, and so we had a female and decided to try to breed her.
Yep. We found a male, and that turned out to be a crazy adventure breeding dogs. We weren't a puppy mill, we just had the one, and we bred her and found families for the puppies, and that was very lucrative. And we did quite well with puppies. My personal favorite we did was that we were Central Kentucky's #1 walnut pickers. That's right, you don't make much money picking walnuts, but you
That was
can
my least favorite.
make money. So one year we needed money for what we called it the baby truck. We needed another farm vehicle. So I say my family, but mostly me, we picked 16,000 pounds of shelled walnuts from our farm, and we won the prize.
It was like $100.
But I won, and I got the little Amish guy gave me a
Likes to
little
win.
thing that said that I was the #1 walnut picker. But we also did a lot of other things. We looked around the farm and tried to think what we could do.
There was an old tobacco barn
Yep.
falling down.
Falling
and
down.
So he got all the lumber, reclaimed it, and made furniture.
Yep.
We sold that. We had like a booth in an antique store.
Flipped antiques. What else did we do, honey?
We got a milk cow.
We got a milk cow. We sold pet food to all of our friends because raw milk was illegal in Kentucky. So we sold for pets only consumption raw milk.
Whatever you did with it was not our concern.
I'm not sure what the statute of limitations. We did a couple other things that weren't quite legal. We won't talk about those yet.
Ask for forgiveness.
Yep, ask for forgiveness. And then, it's a funny story though.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Bootlegging moonshine.
No.
No, can't talk about that. Anyways,
Are we gonna go to jail?
I don't even know if I told my parents about that. So we also, one of the other things we did was we had that old tobacco barn that was falling down. We had another one that we put some lean-tos on, and we started running feeder cattle. So we would go to the sale barn 2-3 times a week and all the sale barns around and buy calves. And it's called backgrounding them. You get them healthy and eat and feed, and then you group them together in big groups and you sell them. And it's a really hard way to make a little bit of money, but that's what it took to be a first generational farmer.
We logged our woods.
Yep, we logged our woods and made money doing that. And so that's kind of our origin story. We're no longer in Kentucky. We have mixed emotions about leaving Kentucky, but a wonderful family bought our Kentucky farm, and they're still carrying on the grass-fed beef dream there in Kentucky. But now we're in the Ozarks and continuing our great first generational ranching adventure.
And now we call ourselves farm flippers.
Yeah, farm flippers. Yep, that's another way. That's probably the most money we ever made, was flipping farm and pieces of land. You'd be amazed if you just ask around the older people that want to sell their land but don't want to use a realtor, and you buy it, clean it, fix it up.
Send them a letter in the mail and wait for the call.
Yep. So that is our origin story, and you know, our story is going to be unlike anybody else's story out there. And we've met so many amazing young people that are trying to farm. You know, we can shout out to Cripple Creek Farms. They're in Bath County, Kentucky. It's a couple brothers that started a farm, and they do hay and bush hogging and hauling. They do odds and end things, and it looked different than our farm, but they worked hard. And Taylor, you tell them about Taylor, the Ayers.
Ayers Valley Farm.
Yep.
They would buy cattle from us, and they actually sell meat all over the country. You
Yep.
can look them up. And
They're a husband
Great
and wife
product.
team, amazing people. They have a little boy now.
I think they were full-time working, and now they're full-time
Yep.
ranching.
Farming, selling. And so people ask, you know, how did you ever get started? And there is no one way to do it. You know, we can't make you a 3 bullet point presentation on this is how you become a first generational rancher. It just doesn't exist, because it's going to be totally different for each person. So that's our story.
Hard work,
Yeah.
and grit, and don't give up.
Yeah. But I think all the first generational rancher stories have in common is what she said, hard work and a little bit of insanity, because it is insane to leave a 6-figure government job that, you know, I only had to work a few more years. I could retire and just do what I wanted, to come and work harder than I ever have. But we wouldn't take it back.
No.
It was the best decision of our lives, and we are proud to be first generational ranchers. And we hope you keep watching our videos. We're not too quirky.
We are.
We are, but this is us, and we want you to get a glimpse into our lives. And if your dream is to be a first generational rancher, you know, email us, reach out to us. We love talking to you. And if it's not, and you just like seeing 2 40-year-olds goof around and live on a ranch, keep watching our videos. We'll take it.
Yikes.
So for what it's worth, that's how we became first generational ranchers.
Yep. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank you for watching.
Tell us how you became a rancher, Caleb.
How did you become a first generational ranch dog?
So beautiful.
Huh? Are you the sheep protector? Is that your job?